Hello, I'm Paul, and this is Paul Plays with Fire. Welcome. Today on the show we're going to be making tacos de carnitas, or carnitas tacos, or Mexican spice pulled pork tacos. It's all the same thing. It's pork shoulder or some other pork cut, slow braised over a low fire for long enough that the meat really starts to break down and turns delicious. Doesn't that sound good? And the weather has finally turned nice enough that we're going to be doing it out here at the Paul Plays with Fire desk, and we're going to be doing it on an open fire. Stick around, this is going to be good. Tacos de Carnitas is simple yet complex. The base is the carnitas, which is what we're going to make first. We'll braise that on the fire for a couple hours until it turns tender, and then we'll make the tacos with some other accompaniments that we're going to make here while the meat is braising. So I already got a fire going, let's get busy. The first step in the process is to season our meat. So we're just going to use some cumin, and we're going to be pretty liberal with it because it's the only time we're going to get to do this. Some ancho chili. Where are they going so fast? Smoked paprika. Some salt. And some pepper. And a little olive oil, just to juicy it up a little bit. And then we're just going to rub that all in there. It's the messiest way to do it, but it's probably the best way to do it. Make sure all that seasoning gets spread around. That's pretty good. That's real good. I'm going to go wash my hands. Be right back. There, I'm back. That didn't take too long. And it's good for the seasonings to sit on the meat for just a little bit anyway. Now that we got that all seasoned up, we're going to get our braising pan. We're just going to get that in there as best we can. And then we're going to add a half a cup orange juice and a half a cup of lime juice. We're going to add some garlic. And we're going to cut up a few onions, put them in there. We're just going to quarter those onions up, nothing too fancy. That's 2 smallish onions, or 1 big onion. And a couple bay leaves. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 4. Stir that up. And the citrus really, the lime juice and the orange juice really adds a nice flavor to it. You can taste it even after braising for hours. And now we'll add just enough water to cover it. And during the braising process, we may add a little more just as it boils off. There you go, just that simple, huh? Now we're going to put it on the fire. That should be pretty good right there. And if it gets too hot, we'll just move it around. And we'll just let that sit for about 2 hours. We may stir it once or twice, but that's about it. It's really, really low maintenance. And if you like watching this kind of nonsense, maybe you should consider subscribing. Subscribing helps you because it makes it easier for you to find me later, and subscribing helps me because it tells YouTube you like my stuff. So now we're going to go on to making some toppings for our tacos. We're going to keep it simple today to bring out the full flavor of the carnitas. So we're just going to top them with some pickled onions, and we're going to top them with some cilantro relish. So I'll show you how to make those real quick. They're both pretty easy. And if you like, if you want to know a couple other ideas for what to top tacos with. I made a really nice video about Mexican garnishes. You should go check that out. You'll find it on my list. I'll put a link in the comments. So I love cooking outdoors. You can just toss the food scraps. Okay, so we're going to take these onions. We've halved them. We've cut the outsides off. And then we're just going to cut them in very thin slices. Put them in a little dish over here. And then cut the other half in very thin slices also. You don't have to obsess over how thin the slices should be. It's not that big of a deal. And then I've taken half a cup of vinegar, half a cup of lime juice, and a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. And I've heated that up just so it's warm, because that'll help the red onions get soft a little bit faster. You could pour just straight old vinegar and lime juice over there, and then the onions would get soft, but it'd take about a day. So, and I can actually like the flavor of those a little bit better. It brings out more of the fresh flavor of the onion, but it does take a little bit longer to do. So there, our pickled onions are just that simple. They're done. We just need to let them sit for an hour or so, and that's about how much time we have. So next up, we're gonna make a cilantro relish. So I've got some fresh cilantro here, and you want to go through this real close, because nothing goes bad faster than cilantro. Man, it's got a shelf life less than fresh fish. And we'll just dice that up real fine. Remember, it's a very fine relish you're going to be putting on top of tacos later, so you do want it to be pretty diced up. Okay, we got our cilantro there. And we probably won't use this whole onion. We'll probably only use half of it. So we're going to take to the cilantro, we're going to add a half of a red onion. And that makes a nice taco topping. One of the trucks here in town, one of the taco trucks, that's what they serve as a relish. This cilantro onion relish, and it's very good. Same deal, we're just going to, except this time we're going to cut it in a very small dice. Small as I can get it. That's good for now. Dice that up a little bit more. That's pretty good. When I made the Paul Plays with Fire desk out here, I had no idea that putting the spacing between the boards was going to come in so handy. Any food that hits there goes straight to the ground. So we're dumping together our diced up cilantro and our diced up onion. There, doesn't that look pretty? Just what we want. And the third and final topping is some limes, but we can wait for a little bit to cut those up. Our carnitas is done. I'm just going to move that back off the fire a little bit. I'll show you how I know they're done. Because you go like this, and they just kind of break apart. So yeah, that's done. Nice and tender. So first we're going to soften up a couple tortillas just by throwing them right straight down into the fire. This won't take very long. I didn't get some grill marks on them. We're not trying to cook them or anything, we're just trying to soften them. That's good. Now the next thing we're going to do is build up the fire just a little bit by throwing a little bit of bark on there, a little bit of hickory bark. Just give that fire a little bit of oomph. We'll give that a second to catch on. There, now that fire has a little more heat to it. We'll just take a couple of pieces of carnitas, throw it out onto the open flame so it gets a little char to it, because it's good right straight out of the pan, but it's even better once it's got once you put a little flame to it, like most things. Give that a couple of minutes. There, now we're getting some heat. Flip that over. Just needs a little bit of char. There we're there. Now we're there. Ready to eat. Okay, here we go. Look what we got. I'm just going to take this carnitas and grind it or cut it up into smaller chunks. Put it on our taco. Then we'll take a little bit of our pickled onions, which look very nice. Soften up nicely. And then our cilantro red onion relish. Very pretty. They say eat with your eyes. This is one I could eat with my eyes. Look at those colors. Let's have a bite. Oh yeah, don't forget a little bit of lime on there. It's always better with lime. Okay, let's dig in. Boy, this looks good. Well, there you go. Some wonderful looking tacos. Man, those are good. Oh, yum. Can't say enough. And the citrus that I added to the carnitas early on still comes out. That was so good. And with the leftovers, you can put it on a burrito, you can put it on a torta, you can put it on a baked potato, you could put it in soup. I've made carnitas soup before. That is so good. Well, this has been Paul Plays with Fire. Thanks for watching.